Okay. Welcome to Flow and Restore. Doing something a little different tonight that I've never done. So I've told you ladies to have 2 pillows or a bolster. And this will be more for the end of class. And then a blanket that you can fold up that will support your head, as well as a blanket that you roll up kind of like a tortilla. So we won't need that until the end of class. You can kind of push it off to the side, as well as the pillows. So tonight's class I've kind of bookended with some restorative yoga poses at the beginning and end. And if you guys are interested and you enjoy this, let me come closer so you can kind of see. This book, if you can see, is called Restorative Yoga for Beginners, written by one of my teachers who Tori knows, Julia Clark. I went to her restorative yoga teacher training. It has beautiful pictures of all the poses we're going to be doing tonight. And this is something you can definitely set up for yourself anytime. So if you really enjoy the restorative part of tonight, this is a great resource. What I'd like you to do while I'm talking is set up your mat so that you're up against a wall. So I have my mat oriented differently because you're going to start with legs up the wall tonight. So go ahead and drag your mat over to your nearest wall at home. You don't even have to use your mat. You want to bring your hips as close as you can to the wall. You're going to come down on your back using your arms for support. Go ahead and use one of those blankets to support your head. You can even roll up the bottom for more cervical support on your neck. You're going to extend your legs straight up the wall. And you may, in that transition, need to kind of shimmy closer so that your butt is actually touching the wall if possible. So I'm going to give you a minute to get there. You can have your feet as wide or as close together as you like. I think somewhere a little bit further than hips with distance is nice. And then your hands can come out to the side with your elbows bent in a cactus arm position. Or you can simply let them rest at your side, palms facing up. And I'm going to come out of the pose so that you can hear me better. We're going to stay here for just a few minutes.
Landon, Tori's doing yoga.
She's leading it.
Everything okay, guys? All right. So I don't know about you ladies, but I feel spent. I think the longer this drags on, I have this endless sense of underlying fatigue. Even if I sleep well and I eat well. And so I wanted to share something with you from Glennon Doyle for you to reflect on while you're here and legs up the wall for a few minutes. If you are uncomfortable, in deep pain, angry, yearning, confused, you don't have a problem, you have a life. Being human is not hard because you're doing it wrong. It's hard because you're doing it right. I want you to just take a minute to let that sink in. Thinking about what's been hard for you lately. how is that hard going to transform you? How will the challenges that you're facing help you grow? If we only focus on that feeling of hard, everything being hard, then we simply suffer. But I want you to take a look beyond the hard. And I want you to envision transformation. How do you see yourself on the other side of this? What will you take with you? And what will you leave behind? I want you to turn your awareness to your breath. Don't change anything about it, but just notice how it feels right now. Does it feel effortless and easy? Or choppy and difficult? You notice that you're holding your breath in a certain part of your body. Or does it seamlessly transition from inhale to exhale, back to inhale? I want you to bring the soles of your feet together with your legs still up the wall. So bending your knees, allowing your knees to open to the sides. Soles of your feet are touching. Then you'll simply let your feet slide down the wall. So you're in a butterfly leg position. I want you to focus on a sense of allowing, both physically allowing your hips to begin to open, and mentally allowing whatever thoughts and feelings arise to do so. And just observing what's happening internally. Knowing that the magic is not in trying to change what's happening, but by witnessing it, you come to realize you are not what you are witnessing. You are not your anxiety or fear or fatigue or anger, frustration. You're none of that. You are sitting on the seat as a witness, on the sidelines. I want you to reach down to the backs of your thighs and passively draw your knees together. I want you to roll on your right side for a moment in the fetal position, using your right arm as a pillow. When you feel ready, press down through your left hand. Begin to push up to seated. If you need to move your mat at this point to a more open space away from the wall, please do so. What I am going to do here, I want you to have your blanket for your head at the top of your mat. And then perhaps either the blanket you've rolled up, or a pillow. You're going to place either one of those on your right side. You're going to come down to your back. Again, take time to get comfortable here. So, using the blanket under your head, you can roll up the end to support your neck. And then you're going to bend your right knee, placing your foot on the ground. Left leg is straight out in front of you. All together, let's take a deep inhale through your nose. Exhale, side out. One more time. Inhale. And let it go. On your next exhale, I want you to allow your right knee to fall open to the side and feel supported by the pillow. Again, hands can come out to the side, palms facing up, just like in Shavasana. And here we're in restorative tree pose. We'll stay here for a few minutes. I want you to imagine yourself on a mountaintop with a panoramic view of the valley below you. Blue skies above, nobody around you but the snow-covered pine trees and the sun glistening on the snow underfoot. In this stillness lives wisdom. In quiet, you find peace. In solitude, you remember yourself. When you look around at the majestic beauty of nature, you take a deep breath in, noticing the crisp mountain air as it transforms from the external to the internal, inside your body, nourishing you and literally giving you life. And as you exhale, you notice a bird soaring in the distance. And you feel a deep sense of freedom and spaciousness all around. As if all of this was created just for you. And even though you're there by yourself, you feel so connected to the earth below you, the air around you, and the infinite sky above. And while you feel grounded with your feet on the earth, you feel almost as if you could take off, just like that bird you saw soaring in the distance. You feel empowered, light, and free. Sky above, earth below, and peace within. And as you continue to breathe, you feel that sense of lightness and spaciousness in your body, your lungs, and also in your mind. You to reach down with your right hand to the outside of your right thigh and draw your knee up so that your foot is flat on the ground. On an exhale, extend your right leg out in front of you. I want you to reach down for that pillow or blanket that's on your right side and simply move it across your body to the left. On an inhale, bend your left knee so that your left foot is flat on the ground. And on an exhale, allow your left knee to open to the side for restorative tree on the left side. Using this time and stillness to simply observe what's happening internally. Whether you feel restless, relief, support, there's no right or wrong. Whatever experience you're having is the one that's meant for you tonight. I want you to begin. See if you can match your inhale and exhale in length. And it doesn't matter how long or short they are. Just intuitively see if you can breathe in and out for the same amount of time. I want you to reach down with your left hand to the outside of your left thigh and draw your knee up toward center. And I want you to bend your right knee. Walk your feet out wide to the edge of your mat. And feel free to move your pillow off to the side out of the way. Feet are out wide, knees are bent, hands are down at your side. Actually, let's go ahead and cactus your arms. So arms out to your side, bending your elbows, palms facing up, like a goalpost. And then we'll just begin to windshield wiper your legs. On an inhale, drawing through center. Exhale, allowing them to fall to one side or the other. Real simple movement. Just beginning to open your hips. I want you to move with your breath. And just noticing the sensation across the front of the hip as you drop your knees to each side. Let's do one more on each side. And we'll come back to center. I want you to walk your feet in towards your glutes about hip width distance. You're going to cross your right ankle over your left knee. Go ahead and bring your hands down to your side. I want you to draw your left knee up towards you, picking your left foot up off the ground so it's parallel to the earth. And then you can interlace your fingers behind your left thigh for figure four stretch or supine pigeon. Option to do some micro pulsations here with your breath. Pulling in on an exhale and releasing further away from you on an inhale. If you feel you need a deeper stretch, you can reach to the top of the left shin. An option to gently rock side to side here. Releasing your hands from behind your left thigh, letting your left foot come down, and then we'll switch sides. Crossing left ankle over your right knee, lifting your right foot off the ground, interlacing your fingers behind your right side, and coming back to your breath. Option to rock side to side or do those micro pulsations. It's your time to kind of begin to explore stretching the back of the left hip. And then releasing your hands, lowering the right foot down. Uncrossing the left ankle, and then go ahead and hug both knees into your chest for just a moment. Maybe rock side to side briefly. And if it feels okay for you on your low back, you can rock and roll up to seated. And then crossing your ankles when you get there, transitioning to your knees, and we will meet in tabletop. We're going to move into our vinyasa part of class now. So if you want to move the blanket off to the side, we'll meet in tabletop, tucking your toes. And we're going to do a different connecting vinyasa. I think we did this last week, but let's go ahead and practice a couple rounds before we push back to downward dog. So instead of doing any chaturungas, what we're going to do is we're going to inhale at tabletop. Exhale, sink back to child's pose. Inhale to tabletop. Tuck your toes. Exhale back to downward facing dog. So let's do that one more round together just for practice. So inhale to tabletop, hands and knees. Exhale, sink your hips back to child's pose. Inhale to tabletop. Tuck your toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Just a nice calming, grounding type of connecting vinyasa. On an inhale, sweep your right leg up towards the sky. Exhale, step through to your right thumb to lunge. Inhale, round your spine, tuck your chin to your chest. Exhale, look forward. Right shin forward, left heel back. Inhale, round your spine, drop energy upward. Exhale, sink into your lunge, look forward. One more time. Inhale, round. Exhale, expand. Inhale, step back to plank. Exhale to tabletop. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, sink back to child's pose. Inhale to tabletop. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, sweep the left leg up towards the sky. Exhale, step through to the left thumb. Lunge pulse. Inhale, round your spine like cat. Exhale, look forward, open across the chest like cow. Inhale, round. Exhale, expand, opening the right hip. One more time. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, step back to plank. Exhale to tabletop. Inhale, lengthen through the crown of your head. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale to tabletop. Tuck your toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, sweep the right leg up towards the sky. Exhale, step through to the right thumb. Drop your back heel down so you have approximately heel to heel alignment. Inhale, rise to warrior one. Exhale, hinge at your hips, arms sweep back, humble warrior. Inhale, rise to warrior one. Exhale, hinge from your hips, arms sweep behind. Inhale, warrior one, arms up. Exhale, fold forward, bowing in reverence. Last time up. Inhale, warrior one. This time, exhale, hands come down to frame your front foot. Turn your back toes up. Inhale, step back to plank. Exhale to tabletop. Inhale, lengthen through the crown of your head. Exhale, send your hips back. Child's pose. Inhale, tabletop. Tuck your toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, sweep the left leg up. Exhale, step through to your left thumb. Back heel down, heel to heel alignment. Inhale, rise to warrior one. Exhale, hinge forward, arms sweep behind you, humble warrior. Inhale, rise, warrior one. Exhale, flowing forward, arms come behind. One more time. Arms up. Exhale, fold forward, arms sweep behind. Last time to rise up. This time, hands come down on an exhale to frame your left foot. Bend your back heel up. Step back to plank. Exhale to tabletop. Inhale, lengthen through the crown of your head. Exhale, back to child's pose. Inhale to tabletop. Tuck your toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, sweep the right leg up towards the sky. Exhale, step through to the right thumb. Inhale, left knee comes down to low lunge. Exhale, shift your weight back to half splits. Right knee is straight. Inhale, come forward to low lunge. Hands move with you. Exhale, shift back. Half splits. Right toes come up. Right leg is straight. One more time. Inhale to low lunge. Looking forward. Chest is open. Exhale back to half splits. Inhale, come forward to low lunge. Tuck your toes. Lift your back knee. Step back to plank. On an exhale, come down to tabletop. Inhale, lengthen through the crown of your head. Exhale back to child's pose. Inhale, tabletop. Tuck your toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Last round. Inhale, left leg up towards the sky. Exhale, step through to the left thumb. Inhale, right knee down to low lunge. Exhale, half splits, straightening the left leg. Hips are over the right knee. Inhale to low lunge, feeling that right hip open, chest is open. Exhale back, half splits. One more time. Inhale forward. Exhale, shifting back. Come forward to low lunge. Tuck your right toes. Lift your right knee. Plant your hands, step back to plank. Exhale to tabletop. Inhale, lengthen through the crown of your head. Exhale back to child's pose. And we'll stay here for 5 breaths. Take a moment and notice what's changed about your breathing. Just from that little bit of movement. Connecting breath with movement, how that can change what you're experiencing internally. When you've completed your 5 breaths, you can shift back up to tabletop. Tuck your toes, and we'll meet back in downward facing dog. And now that we've warmed up, I want you to take a minute to pedal your feet, bending your knees one at a time, shifting your hips from side to side or even your rib cage, exaggerating this movement as much or as little as you'd like. I know a lot of us are doing more sitting than we're used to. So doing any type of exaggerated movements right now, especially in a lengthening pose like downward dog, is going to feel so good for you, your body right now. And then I want you to find some stillness in downward dog, allowing your heels to come down towards the earth as you're pressing through all 10 fingers to protect your wrists. On an inhale, sweep your right leg up towards the sky. Exhale, step through to the middle of your hands this time. I'm going to drop your back heel down so that you have heel to arch alignment. And beginning with the left arm, cartwheeling up to warrior 2. Adjusting the width of your stance as needed. And I want you to think about pressing your feet away from each other as if you could lengthen your yoga mat, while simultaneously squeezing your inner thighs towards this imaginary midline so that all parts of both legs are active. Just taking a moment to feel your strength. Feeling grounded and strong. And from here, we're going to transition to a flow between reverse warrior and half triangle. So let's move together. On an inhale, I want you to sweep your right arm up, left arm down your back leg to reverse warrior. Exhale, straighten your front leg. Reach your right fingertips forward as you pull your right hip back. Half triangle. Inhale, rebend your front knee. Right arm up, reverse warrior. Exhale, straighten the right knee. Reach the right fingertips forward, but stay there, feeling the stretch on the back of the right leg. Inhale, rebend the front knee, reverse warrior. Exhale, straighten the right leg, reach forward, half triangle. One more time. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale to half triangle. Now that we're here, go ahead and bring your right hand down to your right shin or fingertips to the ground. You can always use a block there. Left arm sweeps up and open towards the sky. Once you're here, I want you to think about rolling your left ribs open, right ribs under. If it helps you to put your hand on your left rib cage to make that adjustment, go ahead and do that and then reach back up towards the sky. Returning to your breath. Then I want you to rebend your front knee, right knee, coming back up to warrior two. Straighten your front leg, turn your toes towards the long side of your mat for a wide leg forward fold. So inhale, sweep arms up towards the sky. Perhaps with a slight bend in your knees, exhale, fold forward. And here I want you to just find any type of movement that feels good for you to open your hips and hamstrings. So you could flow between side lunges, reach out towards your ankles, or even walk your fingertips behind you through your legs. Whatever variation you choose, I want your head to hang heavy. Maybe shaking your head yes and no. Essentially allowing gravity to traction your cervical spine. And wherever you are, beginning to walk your fingertips in front of you. In the middle, on an inhale, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, turn towards the front of your mat to lunge, rebending your right knee. Plant your hands. Inhale, step back to plank. Exhale to tabletop. Inhale, lengthen through the crown of your head, drawing your belly button in towards your spine. Exhale back. to child's pose. Inhale back to tabletop. Exhale back to downward facing dog. On an inhale, sweep your right leg again back up towards the sky. Bend your right knee so you're opening your hip towards the side. And maybe drawing little circles with your knee to open your hip up. And then straightening your leg behind you on an inhale. Exhale, draw your right knee towards your right wrist. Your left heel is going to be kind of right below your left hip at this point. Then you're going to walk your left foot back to pigeon. Okay? Option with all the props that you have to grab pillows or a blanket and then come down to your forearms or head, do sleeping pigeon. So essentially from your right knee to your right foot, you're at an angle and it's kind of crossing your body there. I want you to come to any variation of this that works for you. If you can't come down, just stay up, chest upright, palms flat on the mat. But you can also use your props to make this more restorative, even coming down onto the pillows. Taking a moment to check in with yourself. Notice what's coming up for you, how you're feeling, both in body and mind. And just allowing a sense of release and support. Whatever version you're in, beginning to draw your hands under your shoulders, pressing your upper body up off of the mat, tucking your left toes, lift your left knee, send your right foot up and back to three-legged dog where we came from. On an exhale, bring the right foot down to meet the left. On an inhale, sweep your left leg up towards the sky. I'm going to turn around so you guys can hear me. On an exhale, step through to the middle of your mat. Drop your back heel down so you have heel to arch alignment approximately. Right arm cartwheels up, leading to warrior two on the left. Making sure your left knee is directly over your left ankle, not very far past it. And then actively pressing your feet away from each other while simultaneously squeezing those inner thighs towards each other. Taking a moment to feel strong in this warrior two stance. Feeling fortified by your lower body that's supporting you here. On an inhale, right arm slides down the right leg, left arm sweeps up and over behind you. Exhale, straighten the left leg. Reach the left fingertips forward to half triangle. Inhale, rebend the left knee. Reverse warrior. Exhale to half triangle. Right hip reaches back, left fingertips forward. Inhale to reverse warrior. Exhale, half triangle. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Once you can't reach any further, bring the left fingertips down to the left shin or to the ground or a block. Right arm reaches up towards the sky. Fingertips are straight, strong, and active. Option to place your right hand on your right ribs. Roll the right ribs open, left ribs under, and then reach that hand back up towards the sky. Looking down will help you feel grounded here. A middle of the road challenge would be to look straight ahead. Looking up will certainly make this more difficult in terms of your balance. Two more breaths here. On an inhale, rebend that front knee. Coming back up to warrior two. Exhale, straighten that left leg. Turn your toes towards the long edge of your mat. And we'll come to that wide leg forward fold again. So inhale, sweep arms up. Slight bend in the knee to protect the low back. Exhale, dive forward. The more you bend your knees here, the more your low back will release. But if you want to really focus on the hamstrings, go ahead and straighten your legs. Again, option to find movement or stillness here, whatever your body and mind are needing. And allowing your head to hang heavy again. So wherever you are, shaking your head yes and no. Just allowing your neck to relax. And then beginning to walk your fingertips out in front of you in the middle. On an inhale, press down through your fingertips, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, turn towards the front of your mat, rebending your left knee to lunge. Step back to plank. Exhale to tabletop. Inhale, lengthen through the crown of your head. Exhale to child's pose. Inhale to tabletop. Tuck your toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Same transition that we did on the right to get to pigeon. Inhale, sweep your left leg up towards the sky. Bend your left knee, drawing your left heel towards your glutes. Then begin to draw circles, little circles with your left knee in the air. Just opening that hip up. Pressing down through all 10 fingers. On an inhale, straighten your left leg. Exhale, left knee to left wrist. And again, your left foot is kind of at a diagonal there. Begin to walk your right foot back behind you to come into pigeon. And then untucking your right toes. Grabbing for any props that you have nearby, if you'd like, for support in pigeon. You can come down onto the props or to your forearms for sleeping pigeon. Just allowing a sense of release with each exhale. Notice whatever muscles are trying to resist this deep stretch. And just allow them to soften. Wherever you are, beginning to draw your hands under your shoulders on the mat and slowly pressing up. Removing any props off to the side. Tuck your right toes, lift your right knee. Send your left foot up and back to three-legged dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take 3 full cycles of breath here. And after your 3 rounds of breath, coming down to your knees. I want you to take a minute to locate all the props you might be using for our now bookend of restorative. So our peak pose tonight was Pigeon, which can be very restorative, and obviously more focused on stretching as opposed to strengthening. And I just find that I need a lot of grounding right now, a lot of support from the earth below in these weird, chaotic times that we're living. So what I'd like you to do is either grab your folded blanket or a pillow. I may actually do both. So I'm gonna put my folded blanket in the middle of my mat with my pillow. I want you to bring your bottom to the back side of it. Essentially, we're gonna want all of this under your glutes, okay? So another option, if that is not workable, is coming down to your back first, having your props on the side, and then you're gonna walk your feet in towards your glutes, knees are bent. Inhale, press down through your feet, and then go ahead and slide these props under your bottom. Then you can lower down onto the props. Make sure they're in a supported place. So this would be like supported bridge if we were using a yoga block. But we're trying to make this more restorative, so we're choosing soft things for support. From here, you can bring your hands down to your side, palms up. And I want you to begin to walk your feet out in front of you. And if it feels okay on the front of your hips, go ahead and walk your feet out until your legs are completely straight. Almost like you're in Shavasana, but over these props. And this is just a nice counter pose to Pigeon, where we were in deep hip flexion and hip abduction. Now we're in hip extension. And something that's really resonated with me lately that I think about often on my yoga mat is that a quote from Pema Chodron, who says, "You are the sky, everything else is the weather." And I find that getting on my mat helps me tune into my true self, to that sky element, that eternal, essential self. And it helps me forget about the weather, the storm that we're all weathering together. And in this posture that feels so expansive, I want you to just recall to mind an image of a beautiful blue sky. Maybe that's somewhere by the water or in the mountains. Somewhere that makes you feel happy. I want you to hold that image in your mind. I want you to allow yourself to feel that sense of joy of the last time you had a blue sky day. Let's go back to trying to equalize our inhale and exhale. That helps you maybe starting with the count of 5. At your own pace. Slowly, I want you to draw your feet in towards you, bending one knee at a time and then the other. And then slowly walking your feet towards you. Make sure before we bridge up to remove the props below us that you draw your pubic bone towards your navel so that your low back is in neutral. On an inhale, press down through your feet. Remove the props. Exhale, slowly lower down. Excuse me. From here, I want you to extend your right leg out in front of you so your left knee is bent. And your props, make sure you have them on your right side. And if it's possible for you to reach for one of your pillows or blanket to support your head here, that would be ideal. So go ahead and throw that under your head or neck. And then you have some other prop, either blanket or pillow on your right side. On an exhale, I just simply want you to roll to your right side to side lying and push the pillow down so that it supports your left knee. So obviously, fold your props or move them however supportive for you. This is just side lying pose. So my right arm is extended straight out in front of me. Left hand can be on the blanket by your face or simply on the ground next to you. This might be a position that some of you sleep in or similar. We're going to stay here for a few minutes. So make sure you make any adjustments you need to feel fully supported. You can bring your left toes behind your right calf. Really allowing yourself to just melt into the earth below you. want you to stay in right sideline pose. I want to share a story with you from Pen of Children that I think is really pertinent to our lives right now. There's a story of a woman running away from tigers. She runs and runs, and the tigers are getting closer and closer. When she comes to the edge of a cliff, she sees some vines there, so she climbs down and holds on to the vines. Looking down, she sees that there are tigers below her as well. She then notices that a mouse is gnawing away at the vine to which she is clinging. She also sees a beautiful little bunch of strawberries close to her, growing out of a clump of grass. She looks up, then she looks down. She looks at the mouse. Then she just takes a strawberry, puts it in her mouth, and enjoys it thoroughly. Tigers above, tigers below. This is actually the predicament that we are always in terms of our birth and death. Each moment is just what it is. It might be the only moment of our life. It might be the only strawberry we'll ever eat. We could get depressed about it, or we could finally appreciate it and delight in the preciousness of every single moment of our life. On an inhale, I want you to roll back to your back. I want you to extend your left leg out in front of you and bend your right knee. And you're going to roll to the other side, moving the pillow that was supporting on your right side to your left, and drawing your right knee over your body to cross over to that pillow. Left arm is straight out in front of you, or you can bend your elbow if that's more comfortable, and placing your right hand wherever feels most natural. Allowing your eyes to close. Allowing your breath to become easy and effortless. Allowing each inhale to naturally roll into each exhale. Staying here for a few minutes. Story of the tigers and the strawberries highlights how we tend to focus on the tigers of our lives instead of savoring the strawberries. Slow down. Take a deep breath. And take in the deliciousness of life, just as it is. Instead of hoping for the future, or thinking about the past, look for the delight in the here and the now. Move slowly and gently through your life, taking it all in. Allow radical kindness and compassion for yourself and others, especially during such turbulent and uncertain times. Reduce distractions and multitasking. Simplify. Focus on the task at hand and direct your full attention to it. The truth, as Pima so eloquently puts it, is that every moment of the present is a gift or a present. And we can choose to appreciate it and truly savor the preciousness of it. Perhaps taking this next minute to just show yourself some gratitude for taking time out of your schedule and your day and your life to get on your mat, to turn your awareness inward, to slow down. Turning your awareness to your breath. And keeping your eyes closed or your gaze soft. Pressing down through your right hand to push up to a seated position. Slowly and mindfully. I want you to just take a minute to kind of orient yourself to your props one last time. I want you to use that rolled up blanket that I talked about at the beginning of class that looks like a tortilla. And place it at the end of your mat, approximately where you think your heels or ankles would be when you lie back in Shavasana. Then you're going to use your pillows to support under your knees. So for me, I'm going to line up 2 pillows here. You want to get your ankles supported with the tortilla rolled blanket, and make sure you have something for support of your head. So maybe that folded up blanket. And then ever so carefully, you're going to use your arms to slowly lower down to your back here. So coming down to your forearms, then to your back, and adjusting your blanket as needed. Allowing your hands to come down to your side, away from your hips with palms turned up. Making sure that your knees feel supported by the props and that your low back is flat on the earth below. So this is known as basic relaxation pose in restorative yoga, or you can consider it supported Shavasana. We'll spend our last few minutes together in complete stillness and silence. Remembering that things come up that you'd rather not experience. That's okay. You can always return your awareness to your breath as an anchor to the present moment. And deepen your breath. Gently wiggle your fingers and toes. And inhale, sweep your arms up overhead like a morning stretch. Bend one knee and then the other, placing your feet on your pillows or blankets. And then rolling to one side or the other. Resting your head on your arm for a moment in the fetal position. Keeping your eyes closed or your gaze soft. Begin to press up to seated, where we'll meet in easy seat or sukhasana, our legs crossed and our hands at heart center. And I want to go back to the words of Glennon Doyle that I read at the beginning of class. Being a human is not hard because you're doing it wrong. It's hard because you're doing it right. Maybe remember that these times of challenge, uncertainty, anxiety, fear are here to help us grow, and that we will come out of this transformed on the other side. The light in me sees and honors the light in each of you. Namaste.
Thank you, Sandra.